Wild time. There it is. There it is.
Boop boo doop. Boop boo doop. It is catchy.
Oh, I thought you were going to add a sound. We both did a sound.
Boop boo doop.
He did that sound. All right, here we go. It's a Wild Times. What's up, everybody? How are we doing?
Cheers.
Welcome
Fantastic.
back. I'm
Cheers.
drinking
I need a
coffee
bottle
first.
opener.
I'm drinking coffee first. I'm not.
right here.
It's too early in the day. I'm gonna finish my coffee. I gotta detox and then retox. Okay.
I like that you think coffee's
both at once.
detoxing you.
Shut
It's
up.
adding a toxin.
Just shut up. I need multiple stimulants. in the
Coffee's good
system.
for you, mate. It's good for your health.
All right, so this is the Wild Times. It's good to see you guys. I'm your host, Forrest Galante, the broologist. Joining me on my right, Papa P himself. He's getting old. He's stiff. He can barely pull that knee up these days. He is the producer. How are you, Pat?
I'm sore as shit. I did a postnatal workout with my wife on this YouTube channel that literally does workouts for women who just had babies.
And you did the workout?
I sure did.
And you're
Yeah.
in pain?
The parts of my ass that I didn't know existed hurt.
Yeah,
and
man.
I feel like an old man. I'm waddling. And it occurred to me, because I've been out in public, it's been 2 days now that I've been hurting like this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, these people don't know that I'm sore.
Correct. Yeah,
I
they would
know
have
it.
no clue. Yeah.
So they just think I'm
Have
an
a funny
idiot.
gait.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you already have a naturally funny gait.
Speaking of funny gates, on the
I know.
far right, we have the one and only PhD'd in podcasting, Mr. Retep. What's up, Peter?
Doing well, man. Happy to be here. Happy to see you guys. Yeah, I'm excited to talk to you, Forrest. I know you've been adventuring out there in the wild, and I've been sitting behind a desk for the past several months.
That's not as fun. All right. Well, before we get into the shenanigans, you guys want to? I got some breaking news. I want to.
Oh, yeah.
Can we do it, Cal? Can we do the thing? What's in the news?
There it is.
Sir, news from the underground.
Okay.
Are you
All right,
excited?
here we go. I'm excited. It's
I could
good
tell.
news. Do you know
You're
why?
Punching your chair.
Yeah, I am. Do you know why I'm so excited?
Go ahead.
Because the news that I'm about to share is news around a species that we worked on Extinct or Alive.
Okay.
Ooh, nice.
Way back when, season 1.
Did they
Early
find
days.
a second for an Indian island tortoise after the volcano?
You think they're going to find it
A
without
mate?
us? Do you think
No.
they're going to find it without us?
Nah, no
They didn't
chance.
find it for 114 years. We showed up for 4 days. They haven't
Yep.
found one since.
What do we
saying.
got?
Just saying.
All right, so check this out. In 2019, we went on a lot of expeditions looking for a lot of very interesting animals. One of which was at the top of my heart and the top of my interest level for still being out there. And the reason being, lived on a really big island that was super jungly, very remote. There had been reported sightings. We met up with a man named Didick who believed he had seen them himself. And the animal that we went searching for that I thought we maybe got a thermal image of was the Javan tiger. Remember this?
Ooh.
Absolutely.
So
Tell me about the Javan tiger. Is it a huge tiger?
it's big, you know. So like all of the tigers in Indonesia, there was the bobblehead, dude. I'm going to just flip that whole table over.
I
It's
know.
okay. It's just Pat's bobble.
So there was the Balinese tiger, which was a tiger that lived on Bali. Obviously, Bali is where drunk Australians go to get naked and have sex now. So there's no more Bali tiger. But on the neighboring island of Java, a much larger, much more jungly, much more wild island was
Yeah.
the Javan tiger, right? So all these subspecies of tiger. Anyway, the last one was officially seen in 1976.
Oh, damn.
Long time ago,
50
right?
years ago?
50, yeah.
50-ish.
48, if you like math.
Pat's math. 1976 was the last time it was officially seen. Okay,
Yeah,
there
sure.
have been, just like everything, a reported sighting here and a reported sighting there. Blah blah blah. We went there. It was declared extinct in 2013, I believe.
Okay.
Okay,
That's
so
when they gave up.
They
They're
gave
like-
up. They're
yeah.
like, it's gone. Hasn't been seen since 1976.
Right.
And so we went there in 2019. Okay.
Mhm.
When did this survey? Kyle can maybe add a clip in later, but got this cool thermal drone image where I was like, that might have been a tiger. Like there was a big animal we were chasing around that didn't let us get very close. Shortly after our visit, very, very shortly, with Didick and the same people, I believe, that we were talking about, there was a sighting reported of a Javan tiger coming into a village and killing some livestock. Okay.
Oh, okay.
When this happened, there was a barbed wire fence that kept the livestock in around the village, and a single hair was found on that fence. Now, that means nothing, right? It could be a sheep. It could be, well, there's no llamas in Indonesia, but it could be a llama. It could be a cow. It could be a dog. It could be a chick's hair, like whatever, right?
Yeah.
But a single orange-colored hair was found on this fence.
Orange isn't common.
True. So through genetic testing and comparison with other subspecies of Sumatran tiger, they figured out they could have been a Javan leopard, whatever, right? But anyway, long story short, they just announced that they finished analyzing that hair, and sure enough, there is one extant Javan tiger on the island.
Wow,
at least one.
Dude, that's
So
crazy.
The animal that left the hair, it was a tiger. So
Yeah.
there you go. 54, what'd you say, years later?
48.
48 years later, there is still at least one Javan tiger roaming around the island.
So wait,
That's
it took
big news.
5. It took 5 years for the hair analysis.
Dude, don't even get me going on that.
Why?
Java doesn't have any money for
It's not that.
science.
It's the bureaucracy and this is confidential, but yeah, I can't talk about it. I'm
That's
currently
good podcasting.
Great
right there.
pod right there. Maybe on the bonus pod.
yeah,
huh?
maybe that's where I can talk about it. But I'm getting into a whole deep dive on this. But the bureaucracy of science and the fact that this probably circled and they probably took the hair and within 6 weeks had an answer, and for 4 years and 11 months sat around talking about how to announce it and publish it and what to do, which is 4 years and 11 months of wasted time that they could have been actively trying to locate and save this animal, right?
Yeah.
And that is like I can't get into why I'm so fed up with it right now because they'll probably sue me if I do, but like I'm so up to here with that exact wildlife bureaucracy.
Is it okay? Is it possible that they didn't want to announce it until they had a plan in place to protect the tiger? Because once they go, this is the rarest animal in the world, wouldn't suddenly like poachers be like, oh, I'm going to get a lot of money for that thing's head?
I mean, that's always the thought. I don't think a lot of people are out targeting the one and only tiger. But yes, sure. Let's say yes, that is the case. And I support everything you just said. Does it take 5 years to come up with that plan?
Definitely
Probably
not.
not.
I imagine it takes about 2 hours of sitting in a room going, how do we do this? Okay, here's how I think we manage this. Now, how do we implement this? There's no protections in place. Nothing has changed legally or legislatively to protect this individual animal.
Got
It just took 5 years to announce it.
Yeah, that's
So
crazy.
it's driving me nuts because that's 5 years of an animal. Kyle, just do a quick Google search for me. How long do tigers live? I think it's like in the wild, like 18-ish years.
I literally was going to say 18.
10 to 15.
Okay.
Okay. So you've now wasted
A third.
a third at the least of this animal's life talking and thinking about it.
Right.
yeah.
So that's driving me fucking nuts. And it's across very, very many genre, not just of the wildlife sciences, but, throughout everything.
Yeah.
And it's just like the just go get shit done thing is not happening anymore in this field. And it's really, really, really frustrating because this animal's likely, if it's still alive, which it may or may not be, because who knows how old it was when it left that hair,
Yeah.
we've now wasted 5 years not protecting it.
Would they be able to tell any more information from the hair, like how old it actually is or things of that nature?
No.
Nothing?
I don't believe
I
so.
don't think a
Just-
single hair
Yeah.
would have enough.
Yeah, you
Okay.
need muscle and other tissue, but from the hair, what you can do is check the DNA and go,
Sure.
okay, it's a DNA match, right?
So I didn't get to go on this. I wasn't on this shoot.
Sadly.
Full disclosure. I
Okay.
didn't go. I'd like to pretend I did. I learned a lot. So Java is massive, right?
Massive.
It's like is it one of the biggest islands in the world? I think it's one of the top 10.
That sounds right. I mean, it's a huge, it's composed of like 5 states. There's like East Java, West Java, some stuff, Central Java. I mean, it's like friggin', it's gargantuan. But also, here's the thing that isn't like regularly understood. Like you're like, oh, cat on an island. How hard can it be? First of all, Java has like, Google the population. I think it's like
massive.
one of the most densely populated islands in the world.
Wow.
Yep.
Let's see if Kyle gets a number here. 145 million people lived there in 2015.
That's wild.
That's like
dude.
60% of the population of the entire U.S.
Live on this island.
Yeah.
That's
but
wild.
and this is where it's like if you don't go get boots on the ground, you're the common person to study this, right? The world leading expert who's never seen a Javan tiger would read this, go, there's 145 million. They hunted them all out 50 years ago. They're gone. 145 million people. They hunted them all out.
Yeah.
They're gone. What you don't understand until you get boots on the ground in Java is outside of 3 or 4 spots,
Yeah.
like coastal cities, there's nothingness.
Right.
Nothingness. I mean, it is so dense, the jungle and so mountainous in the center of the island. It's like anything could hide there. I mean, obviously, I believe there's a tiger there. I wouldn't have gone on an expedition for it. Like, I absolutely believe that the tiger could survive there. And we saw a lot of game, like big deer, monkeys, like all kinds of stuff. Like, I know there's a lot of animals there still, even with the poaching and bushmeat and everything else that goes on. So I totally believe the Javan tiger was still out there, and now there at least was one in 2019.
Proof. The proof is out there.
Yeah. So I love the story. Got me very excited.
Jakarta is in Java, right? Isn't that on the island of Java?
Indonesia?
No, Jakarta is.
Oh, okay.
Where is Jakarta? Jakarta is. Well, this is all Indonesia we're talking about.
I'm bad with geography.
I love it, and I'm fascinated by it, but I'm terrible.
Seminyak or
east versus
Semarang
west.
or something like that is Java. That's the city we flew into.
Okay.
It's gnarly, dude. Like we.
Semarang.
Semarang, yeah, that's it. When we went there, like where we went to look for the tiger was nearest to the most recent sightings, right? We stayed. I've made a lot of jokes about this, and of course, it never got aired. But we went to some little village, and in that village, we did a homestay, which meant we just stayed in a couple Indonesian people's houses.
Yeah.
There's no beds, so you're sleeping on a grass mat on the floor. The toilet, there's no plumbing, so the toilet's just a hole in the ground, which is not very clean around it.
At least it's not a bucket next to your head.
It's 105 degrees with 100% humidity. There's the Muslim call to prayer going on 3 times a day. Five times a day. So you're like finally falling asleep at like 3:30, 4 a.m. when it's finally cooled down enough, and you're just caked in sweat. You're glued to the bed sheets. There are no bed sheets. You're sleeping on a grass mat, and then it's it's 3 a.m. It's like in the window with this blown out speaker. Dude, it's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy.
Man, what a culture shock that must have been.
Very.
Is that like one of the because you've been through a lot of tough stuff. But I feel like you're better at this. Would be very bad for you because it's human induced rather than like nature induced.
Correct. Yeah.
Stuff to go through.
So I hated that part of it, and I mean no disrespect to the Indonesian people whose house we rented and everything. I just hated it was like dirty. There was no plumbing. There was no electricity. It was boiling hot. It was just gnarly living conditions.
Yeah.
And really, really, really dirty. Like you walk around. Not Seminyak, whatever that town was. Semarang. People are just pooping on the street. Like, it's gnarly.
That's
like,
tough, because that's stinky.
It's gross. And then you leave, you travel by, as we did, motorized canoe for 2 or 3 hours and get out on this immaculate beach that's so white and so beautiful with this dense green backdrop of jungle behind you.
Yeah.
And the difference between sleeping in, we're literally 2 hours away, like just down the coast. The difference between sleeping in the gross house with the shithole like floor and toilet, and the call to prayer and the terrible weather, and then you just go 2 hours away and sleep on this white sand beach on a mat,
nice
and
looking.
It's just like there's a little breeze, and you're listening to the ocean instead of that blown out terrible speaker, and like it's just like it's like 2 different worlds.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter like how much outdoor stuff you do and how good of a survivalist you are and like blah blah blah, how tough you are. Hot, humid sleeping, is like I feel like the thing that unifies all of us.
Yeah,
there's no sleep.
It sucks.
You just don't get sleep. You just sit there lying, sweating, and you're just like I'm too miserable to get up. I'm too miserable to go to sleep.
So what do you think as far as for the animal kingdom, for conservation and everything? Is this a good thing for that area? Will this draw tourists there? Will this draw scientists there? Will this give them money or anything like that?
You guys know that I've been coaching high school rugby.
You talk about it constantly.
Oh, you have
just
been?
making sure. Well, I just wanted you to know that we're #1 in the league.
Ooh.
Yep.
Congrats, dude.
Dude, we're crushing it. I'll tell you, I got a little secret weapon.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So
What's that?
you know that element stuff that we've all been drinking?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Dude, so
Very
I
well.
took the box that I got, like the sampler box, and my coach used to do this to me in high school and college and drove me nuts. And I poured it in all the kids' water bottles. And at halftime, I was like, drink this.
Oh,
and they're
my
like,
God.
okay, coach.
Yeah.
And dude, we are crushing. Like, I don't know if it's that or just the incredible coaching or the combo of factors, but dude, replacing the salts during a heavy sweating workout like rugby, which is 40 minutes of running and then halftime and another 40 minutes, it's making a big difference.
My wife and I drink it every day. We have at least 1 LMNT pack.
Yeah.
I have not had a hangover or felt shitty from my nightly bottle of wine since I started drinking LMNT. It's legit changed my life.
It's crazy
'Cause I
how
love to booze, too.
the narrative has changed on salt so much.
I know. I was looking into it. The guy who founded it, Rob Wolf, was a research biochemist.
Oh,
right?
cool.
And a best-selling author. And he works with the Navy SEALs, like on their resiliency committee.
Oh, cool.
And the SEALs, the Navy SEAls drink Element.
Well, that should
to
tell you
replace
enough right there.
their electrolytes.
I mean, I started drinking it just every day, and I don't even do any physical activity because it is
But your pee is perfect.
Oh, yeah. It's delicious. They have all different kinds of flavors, watermelon salt, lime salt. Yum. And guess what? Our listeners only can receive a free LMNT Sample Pack when they order with our link, drinklmnt.com/wild times. That's drinkelement.com/wild times. Listen, if you don't like it, they will just refund you. You don't even have to send it back.
Oh, that's great.
It's delicious. Try it out. Stay hydrated, friends.
So you guys know I was just out in the wilderness shooting up in the Rocky Mountains for several weeks.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Wore one pair of pants. I packed two.
Yeah.
Wore one every single day.
Gross.
No, it wasn't. It was great.
Go on.
I'm loving my Doer pants, man.
Oh, dude, I'm wearing mine right now.
Forrest
These
hasn't
are
taken
Doer
his
jeans.
He has not taken his Doers off
It's the
in
only
months.
thing I wear. It's like I'm in pajamas.
Well, dude,
you
I
don't
was-
know how comfortable I am right now.
I was filming in the snow, right? Warm,
Yeah.
good to go. Legs weren't cold.
Yeah.
Then we'd go to the very swanky lodge in the evening to have dinner and a drink.
Yeah.
Warm right in there. Looked cool.
Yeah.
Felt great. Something crazy about how the temperature regulating fabric, like,
Yeah.
really, really, really works.
Look how good
love
I
'em.
look right now. Like, look at my booty.
Yeah. If
Well,
I
your-
avoid your face.
Your lower half looks good.
Yeah. Yeah. From the waist down, you look fantastic.
Tell me I'm not beautiful from the waist down.
By the way, dude, for bigger guys like me whose waist constantly fluctuates, stretchy waist.
Yeah,
you can't
that's
beat
nice.
it. Trust us, you'll be reaching for your Doer jeans again and again. Right now, guys, our listeners get 20% off when you go to shopdoer.com/wild. Don't wait. Get 20% off. Go now to shopdoer.com/wild. Be a doer.
I have a feeling it'll do absolutely nothing, kind of like us finding the Zanzibar leopard. It's
Right.
like we found the leopard. We're like, this is a big deal. And they're like, yeah, cool. We have a 2 square mile national park. You can live there. It's like, well, I guess.
Well,
you
that
know,
stinks.
It's also because it's a subspecies, right?
right.
And I think people get less excited about, this subspecies of tiger still exists.
yeah.
If we said all tigers in the world are gone, here's what they looked like, and then someone's like, here's a tiger.
Yeah, yeah.
Then it's more of a Jurassic Park kind of thing.
Like,
Like I want to go see the tiger.
Truthfully,
For sure.
if you took Sumatran tigers from Sumatra and dumped them in Java, they'd probably adapt and do just fine and serve the same ecological niche and role, right?
Right.
Like, they wouldn't be a Javan tiger. I'm not saying that, but they'd fill in the gaps that the Javan tiger did. So the subspecies of the Javan tiger, meaning that tiger that was on that island that had been geographically isolated from the Balinese and the Sumatran, blah, blah, blah. It's awesome. Like, you could tell how excited I was by the news, but it doesn't save the species, so to speak, you know?
Yeah.
But it's still very substantial. It is a big island, and the tiger was there long before people were. Like, it should be protected.
Yeah.
It just sort of raises the question, how?
Yeah.
There's so much wild space.
So many people.
There's no, I don't believe, I'd have to double check where this took place, but it's certainly not a national park. It's in a village where they found the hare.
Yeah.
You know, like, there's so many people, there's so much wild space, there's so much rampant poaching already. But the good news is, highly, highly, highly unlikely anybody's going to go target the one tiger.
Well, that's good news.
It's just
at
like, why
least.
would they, right? Like, you're
Yeah.
not going to find the one tiger. You're not going to try and poach it. Like, the people that are hunting in Indonesia are hunting for bushmeat. They don't want tiger. They want deer.
Right,
You know,
right.
so I'm not saying it couldn't happen, because anything can happen and people are awful creatures, but
Yeah.
it's not like something that I imagine is going to create a big spark one way or the other for hunters and poaching or for conservation and saving it. It's just nice to know that maybe if left alone, the species could slowly bounce back.
Would you recommend people try to go visit Java for like a vacation?
I would recommend people go to Indonesia in general, no matter what. I fucking love Indonesia. It's dirty, gross, weird. The food's crazy, like everything.
great.
No, but stay with me now. It's also, I mean, it's on the Wallace Line, which I know BTG has talked about with us before. It's got some of the it's where all of the Asian and Australian animals meet. So you have this crazy
cool.
mixing of the weirdest creatures in the world. There's 1,000+ islands. They're stunning. Each island has its own unique animals. The beaches are incredible. The water is incredible. The people are lovely. The weird food is great if you can embrace it. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, you're going to eat a lot of fried rice and fried noodles, but it's delicious. I mean, it's just Indonesia. Like, that doesn't look real. The Sky Islands in Avatar, I believe, it might be China actually, but I think they're based on some area like the Mushroom Islands in Indonesia.
Nice.
You know, it's an incredible country. Like, it's so crazy and beautiful, and it's an amazing country. So yes, my short answer is I would absolutely. I wouldn't say I had the greatest like accommodation experiences in Java, but as far as like, should you go to Java or Sumatra or those places, just go to Indo. It's incredible.
I'll tell you a little secret.
Look at it.
We spent
that's beautiful.
most of the accommodations budget on the shoots that I went on.
Yeah, that's definitely
And then on
true.
the ones that I wasn't on, they slept on grass mats.
You sure did. And knowing that now, I would have punched you, but
No,
in the time.
that was not how it was calculated at
No,
all.
I know. There was just nothing there. There weren't hotels where we went. And that was, a lot of the times we slept in tents and hammocks. So,
Speaking of big cats, dude, something happened
use a big cat.
in our neck of the woods, and it's a pretty rare event. Did you guys hear about the mountain lion attack?
I was in Colorado, and I'd get like 20 minutes of service each day.
Yeah.
And I saw that someone put that on our WhatsApp chat, and I was like, ooh, I'm going to save this and read it later.
Yeah.
And
Did you?
No.
I
Tell me about it.
also haven't. All I know is somebody died. That's all I know.
Yeah. I mean, an 18-year-old and a 21-year-old brother, they got separated during this attack. And then
So it was a fatal mountain lion attack in California.
that's right, in Southern California.
First one in many, Northern California, I'm sure.
Northern California.
Northern California. First fatal mountain lion attack in 20 years in
That's right.
California.
The reason I know it was Northern California is it's
northern.
exactly where my buddy Brian Jessup goes mushroom hunting all the time.
Really?
Like those exact patch of woods. Yeah.
Wow, man.
It's weird because I'm trying to read it, but Kyle is, for unclear reasons, just scrolling up and down.
Yeah, I don't know what he's
frantically.
doing over there. He keeps
No way
switching
you can-
things around. I'm going to have
can
a
read it.
seizure over here.
Yeah, so let's see. So an 18-year-old and his 21-year-old brother were separated during the attack. The older brother was found dead at the scene. The mountain lion involved was euthanized, so they found it shortly after the incident.
Yeah.
So let's see. So
They were
I haven't-
fishing. They were fishing.
And then, the interesting part is that the DNA they recovered from the scene, that's how they figured out that it matched the mountain lion that they had already euthanized.
You got to love that they just went out
Oh.
and iced the animal, and then they're like, let's check if this guy is responsible.
Yeah.
Totally.
It was a healthy 90-pound mountain lion, so it wasn't, because a lot of times when these rare events happen, it's because the animal's been injured.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, got a jaw problem.
Yeah, they're
something
pretty
like that,
solitary, right? They don't like to come out and be around people. Like you always say, like you've probably been stalked by a mountain lion several times just walking around your neighborhood.
Can I use that as a little segue quickly?
Yeah, I would love to.
All right, Kyle, you get the thing I just texted you? Hold on to it. Hold on. Calm down, Kyle. Jesus Christ.
Sorry.
Calm down.
Wait, before you segue, are you segueing away from the story? Because I have one
it's
question.
adjacent, but you could do your question first.
Because while we're on this, was there any information about, like, was it a female with cut? Like, do we know why this animal that would normally avoid humans decided to attack? Did it eat them?
Well, and the fact that they had already euthanized it is an interesting point too, because perhaps it was
They would have known that it was the animal though.
Before?
They're territorial,
Yeah.
blah blah. They tracked it down. I don't know if it was collared or what, but
Yeah.
it's not that easy to find a lion where they're like, oh, there was a kill here, let's go get him. So there was
Sure.
something there where the
They
information
had some
was
info.
out, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they don't really know what happened, it seems like.
But, I mean, it's possible. Is it possible that they just freak out and become
Yeah, it could have been
territorial?
defensive.
Yeah.
The kid could have popped down right at the thing's den or startled it. Or
Sure.
remember the guy we had on who threw the rocks at
Yes.
the mountain lion, and then we somehow lost all the footage and never released the episode.
Yeah.
Did it kill both of these young men?
I think
No,
just one.
just one of the
Just
brothers.
The older one.
Yeah,
The older brother.
it's
God,
really
shit.
tragic.
That's so tragic.
It's really tragic because mountain lions don't want to kill people, just like no animals really want to, except the 4 that we've talked about on the pod, and it paints them in a bad light. It's tragic, and of course it's tragic for the family and the brother
Yeah.
and everything else. It's awful.
what are the 4 we've talked about on the pod? Polar bear,
Okay, good.
polar bear, blue-ringed octopus. No, I'm just kidding.
Three. There's three. Maybe there's a fourth. I'm thinking of three right now.
There's
three animals that actively choose to hunt human as prey.
Leopard.
Yeah, the leopard, because the Indian guy that went and got that leopard that killed like 140 people, right?
Leopard.
He was British, but he went to India.
Jim Corbett. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot to take in. So we have the polar bear, the leopard, and
Two more.
crocodile.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, damn, I'm good.
And we just talked about the other one.
Mountain lion.
Nope.
No, I'm just kidding.
The first one.
The polar bear.
Nope.
The brown bear.
First story we just
Tiger.
talked about. Thank you.
Oh, tigers, dude.
Yes, tigers.
They
will
intentionally
actively hunt people. Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. All right. So on to my adjacent story.
Here we go.
I can't get comfortable here. The audience is going to hate how much I'm switching legs.
Oh, yeah.
Dude,
They're
I
going
think
to
these
talk
chairs
about
are great.
how your
Oh,
balls.
It's your sore
me.
buttocks.
Problem's me, not the chair.
Yeah, it's your buttocks. So what's the animal that I keep having encroachment problems with?
Bear.
Right. Comes by, kills the chickens constantly, whatnot.
Yes.
So on March 9th, 10th, whatever it was, the date's in the video Kyle's going to pull up. 2 nights prior, donkey goes nuts.
Hee-haw,
Doing all the
hee-haw.
donkey. And I was like, whoever wrote Winnie the Pooh obviously had a donkey. Because they're fucking miserable, emotional creatures. They're like, you know Eeyore. Remember Eeyore?
Yeah,
Be like,
totally.
It's always
not
bummed out.
today. Like, that is donkey, you
Yeah.
know, like 100%. So I was like, what the fuck is donkey whining about? Like, he's always whining about something, but usually it's like a feeling sorry for himself whine. This was like a panicked whine.
Yep.
I go sprinting up there. This is the middle of the night. I go sprinting up there, and I'm like, donkey, what's up, buddy? Like, flashlight, I'm in my boxers, whatever.
Yeah.
Don't see anything. Doesn't happen again. Everything's fine. Next night, Jess couldn't get 2 of the peahens away. We have new peahens. That's just what we needed, more fucking peacocks.
Yeah.
Couldn't get them away because they're new, so they ended up high up in the tree, iced. 2 piles of feathers on the ground.
Wow.
Now, stay with me. Every time the bear comes, it's like a fucking bear went through there. It's a disaster. The trash cans are over. The cages are torn apart. There's a
Yes.
head of a chicken over here and a foot of a chicken over. It's just like a big dumb idiot just came through with a fucking killing machine, right? This was tactical. This was perfect.
Ooh.
I was like, what's going on here? So I set up a trail camera right outside my house.
Okay.
Kyle, go ahead, pull this guy up. This is
Oh,
what
we
I
got
was running
video.
up and chasing around.
Let's see
Take a
this.
peek of this.
Oh my goodness.
That's a lot of kitties. That's at my
Yes.
house. Those are my avocado trees that you're looking at.
So that's 1 female adult mountain lion and 3 juveniles.
3 cubs cruising
Wow,
through
They're
my
pretty
yard.
big though. They're
Yeah, but I went tearing around in my boxers to go chase these things off.
Yeah.
Where I'm sure Donkey saw the cat and freaked out.
of course.
What would have happened had you encountered them? Like, what do you think?
I
how
probably would have, off you go, rah!
And
like,
they would've?
Maybe, hopefully. But honestly, the bigger scare for me is we let Rhodes run around the garden all the like he grabs a flashlight and goes out looking for animals most nights.
Naked.
Yeah. Yes. In
He's
his
a wild
underwear.
man.
He's completely feral. Yeah. He's going to have the flattest feet, dude, because he never wears shoes. I never did either, and I have super flat feet. Like,
Is that? I feel like that's. The
It might be an
contact with
urban
the earth
legend. I don't know,
Is good
but-
though.
I don't know. But yeah, anyway, so now in addition to dealing with a bear problem, we have 5 mountain lions at my house.
Man, that is
So-
wild. And they attacked. They came in and they did damage.
Yeah, them or the bear who for once in his life decided to be like super
Tidy.
like, tidy and stealthy. But yeah,
Should be his new name.
4:23 a.m. They're just cruising through your
Yep.
yard. A
On-
lion.
it's-
By the way, that we go like, oh, it's a mountain lion. It's a lion.
Yeah, it's
in
crazy.
your yard.
March
Yep.
9th. There's
With-
the date. Yeah.
With its children. So obviously,
Yeah.
one of the only circumstances where it would fight to the death.
No, it's not good. It's not good. And, our fence doesn't keep anything out, obviously. And
What can you do about this? I mean, obviously, you're not going to commit any violence or anything. Is there a way to
no,
keep
I
them
mean,
away?
my family, meaning like my wife and children and mother, just decide to add more and more tasty
Food.
snacks to the fucking garden.
What's with the
basically just
peahens?
put a Domino's pizza out there.
100%, and ring the fucking loudest bell known to man. It's like they're calling to be fucking eaten all day long.
And so this is random. You didn't build a meat tree to try and bring this thing in?
No, not yet. Well, my whole fucking garden's a meat tree. It's a whole squawking ass meat tree.
Speaking of the shoe thing that you brought up, Peter, asking if it's an urban legend. So my best friend growing up, Owen,
Yeah.
lived 3 houses down from me since I was 4 or 5 years old.
Mhm.
His mom was a lovely woman. She's like 6'1".
That's tall.
So Owen's 6'7". His mom is like 6'1" without shoes.
Are you jealous? I'm jealous.
I don't want to be 6'7".
No, no one wants to be 6'7".
I want to be. I wouldn't mind being 6'1".
6'4". I
think we've talked about this. We wouldn't be likable if we were 6'4".
No, God, we'd be so much more obnoxious.
Yeah.
I mean,
What are you, Peter? You're 6'2"?
No, just 6.
6? Okay.
So she grew up on a farm in Wisconsin.
Mm.
So one day, probably about 14, go over to Owen's house. Mom's in a wheelchair.
Yikes. That's serious.
Injuries to her feet.
Mm-hmm.
So as the story goes, the night before, there's Owen sleeping. Here's a scream. It's his mom. She's in the bathroom. The old house, 1 bathroom on the top floor. Goes in. She had gone to go pee in the night. Women often sit to pee.
What? Me too.
Missed the toilet.
We talked about this. He sits to pee a lot.
Yeah, I do it for a treat. Went to sit in the dark, trying not to turn lights on.
Sure.
Missed the toilet. Is now wedged between the toilet and the wall.
Oh, no.
And stuck.
Oh my goodness.
I'm just telling you what I was told about why she was in a wheelchair. Dislocated all 10 toes.
Oh, my
Holy
God.
shit. That sounds awful.
Toilet injury.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's a toilet injury. I don't know how you dislocate all 10 toes.
Yeah, it's tough.
So then the plot thickens, and she has foot problems because she grew up really poor on a farm, and like would only get like 1 new pair of shoes every like 3 years. So she would have to like wedge her feet like a concubine
No,
into
get out of
shoes
here.
that were much too small for her.
Ugh.
And the toes just pop out.
Oh my goodness.
Ugh.
Yeah, what do you think of that?
There's few things
it's
as
horrible.
miserable as wearing a pair of shoes that are too small.
If there's something
it's
wrong
no
with
good.
your feet in any way, shape, or form, they're too wet. You have like an injury on your toe that's there just constantly.
You know when you get the infected nail
Oh,
thing?
yes.
I haven't had one in like 10 years, but it's like the whole fucking toe. If you even touch it, you're like,
Yeah. There was a funny moment when I was just filming where our DP, we were on a scout day, and he's going to look at a shot, and I just kind of see him getting close to this little stream behind him. And I'm just like, he's in a snowbank. I'm like, all right, he's fine. I'm not paying attention because I'm looking at other stuff. And then I just hear kerplunk, and he just went in. He just took a step back, both feet in, and we're 30 minutes into a 13-hour day.
Yeah.
Oh,
And I just
my
look at
goodness.
him, and he's just got that look on his face, and I'm like, your day's ruined.
yeah,
Yep.
he knew what he did.
Wet
Yeah.
feet.
Yeah.
You just got wet feet for 13 hours.
How-
How would,
sucks.
how would you like, Kyle, pull up, is it Chinese foot binding?
Yeah.
Oh,
Vietnamese?
God.
No,
This is
it's
terrible.
the
Foot binding.
concubine
Foot
thing.
binding. I don't know if it's Chinese. It's definitely Asian of some kind.
It's Chinese.
Yeah, it's terrible.
I know.
That was the concubine. You don't know what a concubine is?
No,
Yeah,
of course
I know
not.
what a
Have you read a book?
concubine
No,
is,
he
but
doesn't.
what does that have to do with foot binding? They're not one and the same.
Yes, concubines had their feet bound.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Nobody knew that. What? Forrest.
Yeah, look at these pictures though.
Yeah, this
Is that?
terrible.
But this was done as beauty.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that beautiful to you?
I believe we talked about this on
In
a recent
shoes,
pod.
it was so that their feet would look tiny and dainty in they could fit into tiny shoes.
mean,
And the wealthy did it. It was like a wealthy
Is
thing.
that nice? Do I
No,
want?
it's terrible.
no, it's torture. It's body
I know
mutilation.
that part, but like if you see a girl and you're like,
No.
damn, she's a dime, and then you look at her feet and you're like, shoes are too big.
Well, it's a cultural thing.
Like,
though.
it's never been a
But
thing.
I will
Okay.
say, if they were huge, I might notice.
Sure, if she was walking
put
around
off.
with fucking flippers, but
Yeah.
I'm saying like you don't look and go, man, look at those tiny
Let me
shoes.
compare it to this. So
I don't like a man with huge feet either.
it's a cultural. I do. It's a cultural thing, though, and think about like how a lot of women these days like to look like Kim Kardashian with an overinflated ass and huge duck lips.
Yeah.
and like. I'm sorry. That's
Also
unattractive.
unappealing, by the way.
But
Yeah.
like, it's been culturally ingrained because of TV and social media that it's attractive to a lot of people now. I think I call it that.
At
Forrest,
least the Kardashian thing photographs well. The little feet, you're just
That
like,
did not
I don't get like
photograph
little
well.
feet. Like I don't get it. Like little shoes, I don't know.
Sorry. I got a question actually for both of you. So we're talking about like, okay, so the foot thing, like getting your feet wet while you're on a shoot 13 hours. What's the most?
Look at his knees. Look at his knees. They haven't stopped moving.
Oh, I know. People,
I'm a
it will be
mess.
all of the comments. in the
Jeez.
in the
I'll
YouTube
try.
video.
Kyle's trying to figure out how to edit out moving knees.
He's gonna have
Is there
to
a
put a
motion blur?
stabilizer on his knees right here.
Go
And then
ahead,
it'll
go
just be-
ahead,
So
Peter. Sorry.
what's the most just not like devastating, but the most annoying thing you've had to deal with, like out of all of your adventures, where you're out and it's similar
Easy.
to like your feet got soaked all day.
Easy answer.
Oh, Pat
for me.
knows. Let's hear his first while I think about it.
Blister.
Oh,
If you get a
Terrible.
blister early into an adventure,
Yeah.
it's the only thing you can think
You
of.
gotta
It
get some
never goes
super glue.
away. It
No.
doesn't matter. Super glue, moleskin, 9 pairs of socks, flip flops. It doesn't matter what it is.
Just keeps rubbing, dude. Oh,
No matter
Worse,
what.
yeah, that's
bleeding.
bad.
Yeah, no matter what.
That's
yeah,
bad.
it's hard to top that. I can't think of anything worse, to be
It's
honest.
all feet though. Everything with
Gotta
the
take
feet.
care of your feet.
I got
do.
I got a spider bite that was like here near to my ass
Yeah.
in Papua New Guinea on like day 1 or 2 when I did that shoot, and I looked at it and I was like, ew, it's like kind of like a gross zit.
Mhm.
And I grabbed my rusty, filthy dive
Smart.
knife that had cut thousands of fish, and
Yeah.
I took it
Ugh.
off with the dive knife.
You're so dumb.
Thanks. In case you're not sure where the story's going,
Yeah.
it got infected.
You got sepsis.
And
Weird.
I did get sepsis.
Jesus.
Yeah. Not like full blood sepsis, but like, where you could see the nice red veins crawling off it and the
Yeah,
thing's super
dude.
puffy. And it was bad, and I'll tell you why, because I had to put on a wetsuit every day. And so then I'm just I'm caked in wet. We use open cell wetsuit, so you have to use wetsuit lube, which is conditioner.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I'm
sure.
caked in like coconut scent conditioner, pulling on a hot, sweaty piece of neoprene that's just baking it in there, and then pissing myself where it
Oh,
stays because you're in a
God.
wetsuit all day. And it's just like this thing is just like, give me that bacteria, just
Oh,
fucking
man, that
throbbing.
sounds
Yeah,
so
it,
bad.
It took. I'm not joking. I think it took 6 months for that thing to actually go away. Like
Yeah.
the hole was like this deep in my buttocks.
You've
Well,
had
what about the wound?
Oh, did it? I got a new one. You want to
all
see the new one I just recently picked
yeah,
up? Look at
dude,
this
show
sucker.
the camera though. They got to see.
Look at this sucker. So
Kyle get a nice close up.
this was not long ago. In fact, Kyle was with me.
I hope it's
I
his
don't think
split
he
open
knows
butt
about
cheeks.
this. So
Into the
we went
mic. Into the
mushroom
mic.
Hunting, into
Yeah.
the mic. Calm down. I can only get naked and talk in one direction. We went mushroom hunting to pick some chanterelles when we had that good rain flush in Santa Barbara. What was that, Kyle? It was like
month
8
ago,
weeks
maybe.
ago?
Yeah, 2 months. Yeah, maybe.
2 months ago.
Mhm.
And I was just in a t-shirt like I always am, and I got stabbed by poison oak through the
Oh
t-shirt.
no!
But I've been stabbed by, I get poison oak all over all the time.
right,
But
that's
it
great.
went under my skin, and I think it like broke some bark off.
Uh huh.
All right.
Just a big old right into
Ew.
the camera.
It's
there.
a little scary.
How hard it is. Feel it.
I don't
Let me
want
feel
to.
it.
You'll feel the lump. Feel the lump. Ow.
He flicked it.
There's like a keloid.
All right, back to the mic. Let's go. This is a podcast.
Ugh. So wait, that's a month old, this injury?
That's like 8 weeks old. It's never going
No,
away.
no,
There's,
that's
Yeah,
just
that's a
you're
scar.
scarred for life, dude.
there's like a lump in there. You didn't feel it. You got scared.
You
and
can
you
never
flicked
go
it.
to the beach again with that.
There's
No,
like,
no,
there's like
it's
a fucking
devastating.
rock hard lump in there.
yeah, that looked. I mean,
Eesh.
my fingernail
Like
felt
a frozen pea?
Yeah. That's what it feels like.
All right, so beauty trends have changed. This is it's interesting to me
Mhm.
because you bring up like, so I think it was like during like the Victorian period where being rotund and obese even was a sign of beauty because it was a sign
But
of
I
wealth.
think that's back.
I still
The
find it
Kardashian
beautiful.
generation.
And
I
then
find
like
myself
you
beautiful.
know 80s being super skinny,
Right.
And then like
Remember the plucked eyebrows? I was just looking at
Oh,
some
yeah.
photos
Yeah.
with the eye. Kyle, pull up like 80s eyebrows. Like they're insane.
super thin.
Like literally one hair lined up next to one hair.
Right. And now like big bushy eyebrows is super in.
Sexy.
Right?
Yeah.
Giant lips,
Big lips.
duck lips.
Duck lips.
Yep.
Oh, heinous.
The breast implant
Oh,
was
yeah.
very common for a long
Giant
time.
breasts.
Is that in or out now?
I think
feel-
it's out.
Is it out?
I think it moved to the butt.
Yeah, the butt implant is much more common, the Brazilian butt lift, if you will.
Bibble.
Yeah. So let's go forward
Kyle
100
is
years.
drooling over his laptop
I know.
keyboard right now.
let's fast forward 100 years.
Yeah.
Predict realistically, not just trying to be funny.
Okay.
A weird beauty trend that we can't anticipate that 100 years from now, if we saw it now, we'd think it's crazy, but
Sure.
it could
Oh, I got mine.
happen. Go, because I don't have one.
Yeah.
Okay. Weird beauty trend 100 years from now. Dent in the top of your head.
Why?
Don't laugh at me. Don't laugh at me.
Why?
I have logic.
Go ahead.
Because you've seen, Kyle, pull up the like future gamer body. Remember we talked about this briefly?
Oh, yeah.
Remember,
Yeah,
he like
yeah.
gets all
The alien?
hunchback and
Yeah.
this guy?
Yep.
Okay, see the dent in the head there?
From the headphones.
And here's why. I'll tell you why. It's from the headphones, yes. But my logic is that 100 years from now, all menial tasks will be done by AI and robots and computers. And if you're wealthy and smart enough to be able to work from your computer, granted headphones will probably be a different thing by then, then you have a dent in the top
You
of
have
your
a
head.
dent in the top of your head.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that shows wealth.
Shows wealth.
And that
So it's associated with beauty.
mine's similar.
Okay.
It's along a similar vein. I think people will have their ears, the outside part of their ears, fully removed.
As in just hole in the head, like
Yep.
slice the whole
could
thing.
see
I think
that.
being earless will be a trend
I could see that.
because, you know, we're not hunter gatherers. We're not surrounded by predators
We don't
constantly.
need to bring in sound.
We don't need that extra 5% that the cup.
Right. It
Gets
actually
you.
can be quite annoying.
Yeah.
The cup.
Sure.
The cup.
So
The-
I
the
don't think
ear
we'll
cup.
need the cup. We don't need the cup now
This is true.
for city
Yeah.
life.
This is true.
Everything's going to be projected into our head via headphones anyway.
This is true.
Yep.
Or
I
a,
think
or
people
a
will
our
chip
brains.
in our brain. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we'll live to see this trend.
Wow.
I'd like. I'm
Can you
very.
show me an earless human?
I almost asked, and then I was like, I don't think I want to see
I
it.
desperately need to see
I'm
an
not sure.
earless human.
This
I'd
gives me,
like
like, some
somebody to
skin.
create an AI version.
How's the fourth photo? It's just a normal looking guy with relatively small ears, and they're like, this guy
and
counts.
then the fifth photo is a seal.
Yeah. Well, listen. So
Woof.
Yeah.
for me, I mean, it's tough. You guys had some really good choices, but I'm going to go with. I think that people are just going to cease to use their legs because it'll be a sign of wealth that you don't have to do anything physical. So you just basically, I'm not going to say you cut them off, but you like the.
Just, nope. These things are useless
The
now.
trend will be to have the smallest, most dangly legs
Little skinny
Got it.
legs.
out there.
Little dangle legs.
So you'll have no ears, you'll have a dent in your head, and you'll be in a wheelchair.
Just little spaghetti legs.
yeah, just hanging there.
Ugh.
I think
Somebody
by that-
create this with Mid-Journey, please.
Yeah.
This all goes against human evolution. So
That's
we're
what
all-
we do. That's all we do.
It is, but we're talking about like what's going to be trendy in 100 years, and it's all based around like AI and wealth and human economy, and it's all goes against human evolution.
That's all humans do is try to fight evolution.
But it's so dumb because human evolution, the whole reason the Kardashian duck lips and fat ass is in, we're going to get so sued, is because...
No, you haven't said anything
That's
slanderous.
That's
your
true.
opinion.
But the whole reason that that's trendy is because the male looks at that and goes, swing, like big butt means fertile, means feels good.
Yeah.
Big tits mean this good mother, you know, wide hips mean good for birthing. Fat lips, we know what that means. Like that is evolution. You
Yes,
know what I
sir.
mean? Yeah, that is evolution. That is your primal brain going, I want to breed with that.
We're too stupid to actually fight evolution. Evolution always finds a way right back in because at the heart of everything, we're just animals. But we're always trying to outsmart it and be like, no, we're not animals.
But I'm saying, even though those things that we're saying could be trendy, the sexual selection, whether you like it or not, of your brain cannot find those things desirable. You cannot find spaghetti legs desirable because it's bad to reproduce with that. You're putting weak genes. You cannot find forehead dent or whatever, head dent desirable because that means you're deformed. Like,
But
it's bad.
Posit this. There is now a very trendy thing called being asexual. I was it before at school.
Stop saying that.
And-
Every time you say it, it makes me feel bad for
I'm
you.
telling you right now, the way that people are, the way that society's going, this is going to be the new thing. And I think that the sexual motivation is only going to be those strange alpha males who go and like, do 100 push-ups. You got to get your dick hard, sir.
I'm going to that train. I'm going to the dick hard train. You go to the fucking spaghetti legs train.
He was asexual before it was cool.
That's what he's
right.
saying. Yeah,
That's
he's
true.
such a trendsetter.
That's right.
Can we do a little new segment?
Please.
It's going to be short, but I want to know if people like it. It's called the Geology Moment.
Oh, wow.
Interesting. I have no clue
This
what
guy
it could
fucking
be.
loves rocks, dude.
I love
rock guy.
me some rocks. Who's been to Yosemite National Park here? Forrest, Peter, Kyle. All right. Tell me about it. What's it look like when you go into Yosemite? What do you see?
Beautiful. There's a big valley and the iconic Half Dome, which
Waterfalls.
is a giant, waterfalls, granite rocks.
Huge granite structures.
Unbelievable.
Sticking up out
Stunning.
of this valley.
Yep.
And
It's one of our greatest natural beauties
It's so
in the
beautiful.
country.
So Kyle, there's a picture for those who haven't visited. It's a great place to see with your own eyes. What if I told you that everything you see here in Yosemite was all just very gentle rolling hills with a stream, just a very still moving stream that went through it. Gentle rolling hills, none of this granite.
I find it hard to visualize.
I think I know where you're going with this, but I want to call shenanigans. What you're saying is this was all carved by water over many, many years.
Well, let me tell you how this all formed. Everything you see here, gentle rolling hills with a little stream.
like
Wow.
literally the rest of the area around it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
that makes
that's
sense.
like the Grand Canyon also is similar, right? With the river.
Not going to get into that right just yet.
I'm not
Stay
trying
on
to
task
derail.
here,
I'm
Peter.
just saying.
So it's all gentle rolling hills. It's peaceful.
Yeah.
There's a little stream. There's some trees.
Yep.
And
Few trees.
a tectonic plate shift happens
Okay.
where the Pacific plate that's under the Pacific Ocean starts to slide under the North American plate,
okay.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So as it does this, right, it goes underneath. Now there's all this pressure on the sediment that was on top of the Pacific plate, right?
Uh-huh.
That pressure turns to heat, turns it into molten lava, right? So this, or magma or whatever the fuck it's called,
Magma.
right? So that magma starts now pushing up to the surface. And as it gets closer and closer to the surface, it cools down,
Creates granite.
turns into these big granite structures that then push up through the surface. Those are the big
interesting.
granite structures. So those granite structures were the bottom of the ocean.
That's crazy.
So
Right?
it wasn't gotcha. So it wasn't carved out by the gentle stream.
It was.
It was projected. Oh,
Because as this happens, as these granite structures are pushing up through the surface, it's also now tilting the entire area, tilting it up like this to
interesting.
the west.
Okay. Making the Sierras, I presume.
Well, as it tilts it, this little gentle stream, which we now call the Merced River,
Uh-huh.
now has gravity working in its favor. The water starts to rush and rush, and it widens the river. All this rushing water now carves through the area, the valley that is Yosemite Valley.
That's crazy.
And then millions and millions of years later, glaciers come through and widen it a bit. But the Merced River had already done most of this work. So it was this
Interesting.
tectonic plate shift that went from just a kind of a flat grassland area with some trees
Yeah, like
to,
the rest of the Bay Area, rolling hills and
to what you
blah,
see in Yosemite. It's kind of that stuff I find very interesting.
You could do a whole podcast about that stuff. That was very interesting.
What's most interesting is the fact that we know that. Like, we can learn that through geology. Like, we can pick up a rock and go, all right, look at this line. This means this happened. And
Right.
I don't understand
That's why
it
we're
that
so
well.
useless when we're born. Just
Yeah,
a brain.
That's
it.
right.
That's a good
Um,
point.
But it is cool. I didn't know any of that.
No, it was
about the
fascinating.
formation of
Is that
Yosemite.
it?
That's it.
That was-
Is that it? Is that all that happened
thought
to
it was
make
a new
that
segment.
incredible
That
natural
was
wonder?
interesting.
Called the
No,
Geology
I thought
Moment.
it was going to be a game. I apologize.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I fucked it up. But
No, it's actually my fault. But dude, I just got to say, that's like you're like the Bob Ross of geology. You got to get on TV.
That's true. That was very nicely
I'm sure I
articulated.
said one thing wrong, like I said magma instead of like someone's going to be mad on YouTube, but that's okay.
It's the only time I shut my mouth on this podcast. Just to listen to that.
I think we should play our regular game, an iconic game.
Oh,
An
goodness.
iconic
A game.
Classic.
known as Battle Royale. I think I know what time it is.
What time?
Do you know what time
I didn't know this was going to happen either. I'm scared.
For what? Okay.
Battle Royale.
All right, so we got a great BR submitted by Sister Jody Ann Hobson.
Okay.
Oh, hi. Thanks,
Okay.
Jody.
What
So
we got?
it's a traditional fight till death,
Peter's favorite.
Yeah, it's the only thing.
but there's some
It's the
rules.
only one he understands.
Well,
but
yeah.
there are some rules. We're gonna
Oh,
pick
fuck.
from a hoofed animal.
Okay.
Okay.
Peter, you know what that means?
It has hands.
A feline and
Okay.
an insect.
Oh,
Put it
this I
together
can do.
any way you like,
Mhm.
but you got to pick from those three. So there's
Yes.
no octopus
Yes.
because it doesn't have
So
hooves. It's not
it's-
an insect.
Head, body, special ability.
Yeah.
Okay.
Head,
So-
body, special ability. Any way you want to structure it. We're going hoofed animal, feline, special
Normally,
insect.
I get very just like kind of bummed out when the battle royale comes because I always get crushed, and I really have to like think outside the box to make it entertaining. For this one, I'm like, yeah, I actually know these
Why
animals.
don't you lead us off? Why don't you get us going then?
Okay, so for my hoofed animal, head or bodies? Okay.
No, we're just doing it the way I explained.
Okay, so a hoofed animal, and we're going head, body, special
Whatever you
ability.
like. Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to start with a feline, and
So for my hoofed animal, I'm going to start with a feline.
I'm going to go with a Javan tiger.
What? Javan tiger what?
Feline. Oh, body.
A Javan tiger feline.
All right, I like that. Yeah, good.
So you want the big muscular body of
That's
the
right.
Javan tiger?
Stunning, by the
Okay.
way. Good choice. I like it. Nice
big.
start.
I'm going to start with my hoofed animal. I'm going to go body as well.
Okay.
I want the body of a moose.
Yeah, that's
I want
nice.
a big 1,500 pound, big
That's
old
nice.
body. It
That's a good
scales up
choice.
to that.
That's nice.
Start
okay.
there.
I like that a lot. All right.
Look at that thing.
I'm also going to start with my hoofed animal.
Oh, I know what you're doing.
Do you?
I fucked up. It begins with a G.
No.
Oh, okay.
But it sounds like you might be able to save it, whatever you're doing.
Yeah, I
Um.
blew it.
Okay. I'm going to start with my hoofed animal as well, but I'm going to start with the head.
Okay.
Okay. And I am going to take the head of a kudu, of a unicorn.
What's a kudu? I don't even know what that is.
Look at these big, beautiful spiraled
Ooh,
horns.
Nice horns.
They're not a super aggressive animal by any means, which is fine because of my next pick, because it is a snake draft here.
Mhm.
So I'm going to put this, imagine that head
Yeah.
on the body of a cheetah.
Quick.
Really fast.
Yeah.
It's basically
and
a
stabby.
running spear.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm concerned that these sort of beautiful curled up horns may not
Just
be
for
as-
show.
They may not be as stabby as
No.
just a straight horn.
I think you're. I
Maybe.
think Pat
You-
knows what he's talking
He
about.
might be
here.
right, but this is my pick, and it's
Okay.
too late to
And you're
change.
sticking with it.
Yeah.
All right. People are going to be mad because this is probably the third time that I've used this creature, but I have to do it. I'm taking the special ability of a bombardier beetle.
I knew you would. I
mean,
knew you would.
There's no possible way I could not take that.
Yep.
I need my giant moose anus to rocket
Can you imagine?
211 degree Fahrenheit chemicals
Yeah.
at its attacker.
It'll be 1,000 gallons coming at you.
Yeah,
It's tough,
exactly.
though,
It's like a
because-
swimming pool of acid
Yeah,
being thrown
Absolutely,
at you. Yeah.
but be very difficult to control because it comes out the ass and not the front.
Yeah,
So you have
well,
to look behind
this
you.
is
my
true.
animal will be well versed in placing its anus.
I don't know.
in anal
It's
placement.
usually just a defensive mechanism. They don't know how to use it for offense.
What do you got, Peter?
Is it back to me?
I'm gonna have the head of a beetle.
Yeah. So that's funny. That's the funniest thing you've said in 100 podcasts.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go with the special ability of an insect.
Thanks.
I would too.
And that would be a flea, which can jump how many lengths of its body?
A lot.
A
I don't
lot.
remember.
200 or something?
100,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So imagine you have a Javan tiger-sized animal that can jump. We're talking like
Very good.
300 feet into
very
the
good.
air, and then I'm gonna put my hoofed animal's head on here, and it is gonna be a bull head with its horns. So now you're talking about an animal that can basically come up to you and just go bring and with its horns.
Not to mention the claws,
Well,
like tiger claws, pretty substantial.
That's right, and tiger.
I was gonna say
claws.
that was a stupid pick, like the middle with the, but then I thought about the claws.
So it jumps up, comes straight down,
Yes.
horn first,
several ways.
swiping its claws.
Yeah, that's pretty terrifying.
Several ways to be
Good job.
attacked because it can, and defense because it can get away too
It's
with
good.
that jump.
Hey, shockingly competent.
That's right. I
Yeah.
told you this is my game today,
yeah,
baby.
no, you brought your A game today.
he does
you
well
really
with
did.
the fight till death.
He does. It's
Yeah.
kind of the only thing he does
I'm an
well.
ogre. Thank you.
I need a head. That's all I got left.
I'll give you
and
a
I've
head.
I've got to pick it from a feline. Tiger's off the table, so I can't take a tiger head. It scales up to the body either way.
Right. That's right.
I'm going to mix it up here.
Mhm.
I'm going to take the head of just a domestic short hair house cat.
Wow. That's
mean,
the worst pick I've ever heard.
Have you ever been bitten by one?
Yeah, but there's a
Their
lot of
teeth
cool
are needlepoint
felines.
sharp.
Went for a house cat.
They are ferocious. They're killers. They have
Wow.
needle
Thanks
teeth.
for Googling
This
house
is a
cat,
bomb.
Kyle.
This is a bomb.
No.
Big time.
It's also rocketing boiling chemicals out of its
Yeah,
anus.
he's
You biffed
fully
it.
reliant on the 2,000 gallons of chemical ass.
If you took a house cat head the size of a basketball, you're in deep
That's
doo-doo.
true. I mean, any
Not
cat
against
head.
my creature.
Okay. All right, what do I have? I've got the body of a cheetah with its speed, the head of a kudu. What does it need? What does it need? It needs
a lot. Quite
Oh.
frankly.
Thanks. You know what it needs? It needs the special ability of a locust.
Oh boy.
What are you
No,
doing
sorry, a
there?
dragonfly. Dragonfly.
Okay,
Better.
you're allowed to have that mulligan.
Thank you.
So what's it going to do?
Well, because if I said locust swarming, it
so
doesn't
what's
really
the
work.
special ability?
It's the most agile aerial creature there is. So it
Okay.
can run super fast. It can fly incredibly rapidly, as we have talked about, which I'm still mind blown by. It's the most effective aerial predator in the world.
Oh, yeah.
And it now has the horns. So it's just coming at you stabby no matter what. On the ground, from the air.
So I will say this.
Not my best build.
One of the reasons that the dragonfly is such an agile flyer and does have like a 90% plus success rate at it hunting
Yep.
is because of its vision. And you don't have the head, boy. So I think that thing's just going to be
You
around.
You honestly should have taken the special ability of a trapdoor spider so this thing could hide.
Yeah, probably. Probably. It's not my best. It's not my best build.
I mean, there's a clear winner here.
It's pretty good. So, Brosteners weigh in. We've got Peter's bull-headed, tiger-bodied, flea-jumping creature, which is very good. I'm not going to lie. I don't
good.
like to give him props, but it's good.
This is incredible.
We've got Patrick's what started really strong with the body of a moose, the acid anus of a bombardier beetle, and then the domestic house cat head, which I think is where he lost me.
I did it
it's
for a
crazy.
reason, and those cat owners out there will vote for
They
me.
know. They know. And then my bit of a disaster with his cheetah body with dragonfly wings and the head of a kudu. Weigh in. Let us know who won. Give me a sympathy vote. Just do it.
Nah,
right?
don't. He always wins. Give
that's
me
not
all the votes.
Yeah. No, Peter, I think you took it this day.
You did a good job.
Thank
did.
you. Tag me in the comments so that I can just search my name by comments.
Smart.
And see.
Smart.
all
What
the
is
people
your?
that agree
How
with
do
me.
they tag you? What is your name? Can you tag on?
My name's Peter.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
For real quick, Forrest, your one of your picks. What was the one that you flubbed before the dragonfly?
A locust.
Locust. Well, actually, there's supposedly. I know it's not necessarily the same, but there's a historic, massive cicada season coming.
Oh, yeah. Have you guys seen this?
No.
Oh, yes.
So, wait a minute. Do you mind if I pirate this for a second,
Sure,
Kyle?
go ahead.
This is like the most historic thing that's ever happened to the U.S., and nobody's talking about it.
Cicada superstorm.
Not just that, but it's lining up with the largest eclipse in history.
Oh, wow.
So there's going to be a 4-minute totality solar eclipse across a big band of the U.S.
Yeah.
I'm not even getting into how Discovery fucked me over on that show. But there's going to be this whole totality solar eclipse of this band for like 4.5 minutes, which is double what the other like eclipse was 25 years ago. It was like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And at the same time, or maybe a couple weeks later, there is this cicada super bloom happening where a 200-year, it's the first time in 200 years that these various batches of cicadas are all aligning.
Oh wow.
It's going to be like bad.
Billions,
like
they say.
billions of cicadas hatching
Yeah.
at the same time.
And that noise they make, dude.
well, you're
Maybe-
from Chicago, so
Dude,
you know it's deafening in the
and-
suburbs of
Oh
Chicago.
my God. And cicadas come along, you know, they have like the 17-year version, the 7-year version, there's like a 14-year version. And this superstorm, there's like you said, multiple of these just happen to coincide with this solar eclipse. It's the apocalypse.
I was going to say, isn't
Cicada
the,
apocalypse.
wasn't there something in the Bible about this? Like the sun
100%.
goes out and the bugs rise?
Like
Like,
Yeah, I think so.
yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the beginning of the end.
By the way, I think it'd be fun. I think it'd be fun if people start just tagging us on Instagram with your cicada videos when it happens.
I
Just-
love cicada. I might go. Kyle, can you look up the dates of the cicada super bloom? I might go.
It's gonna be so wild,
It
dude.
says
might
it's going to
be-
hit the Midwest and the Southern U.S.
Yeah. It looks like the southern Illinois.
When is this going to happen?
Cicada safari. Someone's trying to offer this as a safari.
We should have done that.
No.
They're suggesting that homeowners get ear protection
Yes.
and cover their pools.
Yep.
So,
Wow.
The 2024. Look at this from
More than 1 trillion cicadas, according to Time magazine.
Damn.
Late April, early May.
Where's the pinnacle of it? I see Louisiana. written
Northern
there.
Illinois.
Looks like it goes through the Rust Belt right there. No.
Will emerge.
Southeast,
We should go.
Illinois.
Listen,
should go.
that's my alma mater, my hometown. Let's
Dude,
go.
Can you imagine seeing 1 trillion bugs?
Every 221 years this happens.
I think I'm gonna go.
Crazy,
I'm not
dude.
even kidding.
Yeah, I think it'd be really cool, but wear your ear protection. And
Is it really that loud, like where it'll hurt your ears?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
dude, it really
Holy
is.
shit.
even the normal cicada thing is like bananas loud. This is
Dude,
like
I think I'm
hard to
gonna go.
walk.
I'm not joking.
You
I
need
think
a
I'm just gonna
gas
wait
mask.
till it's like happening and just book. Because what's a ticket to Chicago? It's like $200.
$200.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna book a direct flight to Chicago and grab a rental
Let me
car
know,
and go
dude.
see it.
Let me know.
I'm dead serious.
Yeah.
I'm not even kidding. It's a once in two lifetimes, seeing it's every 200 years
Yeah.
thing to see.
Wow.
Kyle, look this up. I remember this. I was in Chicago in Lake Forest where my buddy Nick lives.
Yeah.
And they had one of the like 7-year or 14-year ones happen.
Mhm.
And he was telling me that people were collecting them and eating them.
Yeah. That's like a thing that they do in some different countries and whatnot, is they do eat these. They're very full of protein. And
I was going to say, there's going to be a lot of very happy birds.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's the foundation for like a big bloom of the ecosystem,
Oh,
right? Think of
absolutely.
the amount of nutrients that are getting pumped into
Yeah.
the ecosystem.
It's wild, dude.
Food
these
Network
cicadas.
did a thing. How do you cook a cicada? Can you look up how to cook a cicada?
I think you
Not
grill
the way
it.
that you do it.
Well, you could probably do it in oil and do that whole thing.
You take the wings off? Like, what's the deal
I
I
would
there?
think you eat the wing.
Eat the
I
wings?
think you want to eat that.
It's like
nice
a chicken
crunch.
wing, just a little.
Oh yeah,
It's a nice
total
little
chicken
crunch.
wing.
Saute
throw-
them, deep fry them.
Should we do
soup,
this, Kyle?
Same as
cupcakes
anything.
and cocktails.
Kyle-
Absolutely.
Kyle, if I take you with me to Chicago, will you eat cicada no matter how I cook it? Promise me.
Anything but raw.
Why
sure.
do you have to make it so unappetizing? It's like,
I'm like, all right, and here's some poop in there.
Oh,
Oh, there's
God.
a sushi restaurant that serves a cicada appetizer.
God, I
Interesting.
remember these things coming out just bzzing around.
Would you eat one? If I deep fried one, would you eat it?
Yes.
I'd eat it for
I
sure.
would eat it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
There
mean,
you
I
go.
ate your grubs that you cooked in the forest.
Yeah, nobody liked those.
I ate that
You
hot
burned 'em.
gummy.
I burned them. Yeah, they were gross.
All right, well, I mean, on that note, I hope that instead of the outro music, you play some cicada buzzing. But let me do the thing first,
He's
guys.
just shaking his head
Do
no
it.
over
Do
there.
it.
He's like,
Do it.
I'm not doing that.
Listen, go to wildtimes.club/info and sign up for Patreon, sign up for Spotify Premium. Man, we're doing tons of extra episodes. It's all uncensored, behind the scenes shit. We chat, we talk. People love it. wildtimes.club/info. Bunch of other links there to a bunch of other things. We got a new 24/7 live stream of our best episodes going on YouTube 24/7. Check that out. wildtimes.club/info. It's all there.
It's the Cinemax of podcasts. NPH.
Boom, ba-doo.
NPH over
No
here.
problems there.
Big problems here.
Yeah, what did Patrick say? Big
I
problems
just said
here.
problems here.
Problems here.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.